Good morning. My name is Jill Thompson, and I am your worship associate today. Welcome to those of you who are here with us in person at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke, and we extend a special welcome if you are joining us for the first time. Please join us for coffee and social time in the fellowship hall after the service. We also say welcome to those of you joining us on YouTube, and if you have joys or concerns you would like to share, please type them into the chat feature in the next 15 minutes so they can be shared during Lifelines. Our minister is the Reverend Walter LaFleur. And our service this morning is one size fits all. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones. Our words of welcome: whoever you are, whomever you love, however you express your identity, whatever your situation in life, whatever your experience of the holy, as you come seeking love, your presence here is a gift. Whether you are filled with sadness, overflowing with joy, needing to be alone with yourself, or eager to engage with others, all who welcome all are welcome here. Our covenant says, we commit to supporting each other with respect and direct communication as we work in community to explore spiritual growth and be a force for good in the world.
Good morning. It's good to see your well-fed faces. Opening words this morning come from a book by the name of Illusions, The Adventure of a Reluctant Messiah by Richard Bach. He says, there was a master coming to the earth, born in the holy land of Indiana, raised in the mystical hills east of Fort Wayne. The master believed that it is well for any man to think upon himself as the Son of God. And as he believed, so it was, and the shops and the garages where he worked became crowded and jammed with those who sought his learning and his touch, and the streets outside with those who longed only that the shadow of his passing might fall upon them and change their lives. Our chalice lighting words are from the same author, Richard Bach. He says, the bond that links your true family is not one of blood, but of respect and joy in each other's life. Rarely do members of one family grow up under the same roof.
May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of life.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bonnie Evans, and I am here in place of Jessie. She'll be back next Sunday. She's still on her trip to visit family. So I'd like to invite any children that would like to come down and hear the story and see the pictures up close and personal. Hi. How are you? Good. Hello. Have a seat. Come through. Good morning. Hey, Emma. Hey, Jake. All right. We have a good one today. And I promise you it'll be shorter than last week. So we are reading a story today called, What Does It Mean to Be Kind? Do any of you know what the word kind means? What does it mean, kind? You know, the word kind, it's in our 7 principles, several different principles. Kindness is incorporated in the first principle, the second principle, the third principle, and then down to the 7th principle. So look it up later and see where kindness comes in there, okay? So the book, sorry. The book says, what does it mean to be kind? Does it mean trying to please others? Is that what being kind means? Trying to please others? No, you're right, Beth. Does it mean, excuse me, giving gifts, expecting something in return? No, you're right there. Does it mean pretending you like something you don't? Right. That's not being kind. Being kind means smiling at the new student in class. Giving someone a sincere compliment. Holding the door open for someone else. These pages are hard to turn. Sticking up for someone who is being bullied. Seeing the best in people, even when they are struggling to be their best. Forgiving someone who has hurt you. It's hard to do sometimes, isn't it? Helping an injured or lost animal. Being patient even when you are in a hurry. See them standing in that long line? Saying please and thank you. You're welcome and I'm sorry. Celebrating differences in others is being kind. Encouraging someone who needs support. Picking up trash that isn't yours. Allowing yourself to make mistakes and to learn from them. That's being kind to yourself, right? We need to do that too. Noticing when someone is sad and taking the time to understand why. Yeah. Caring for those less fortunate than you are. Being kind means having the courage to treat others the way you would like to be treated. And you know what that's called? Some people call that the golden rule. Yeah, you've heard of that, haven't you? Right. That's right. So show your friends what it means to be kind and spread the word. If we can all be kind to each other and to ourselves, our world would be more loving, caring, and harmonious. And that's the end of our story. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to go out and be kind to yourself and to other people? I know you already are, but that's very important, okay? You know why I'm dressed so brightly today? I'm dressed like this to remind people that the hanging of the greens is after church today, and we've got to put that great big tree up over there. Yeah, and all of you all can help. We've got the big tree to put up and the decorations to put on it. And that's pretty much it. We're going to put a little one in the back there, but someone else is doing everything else for us. Isn't that great? So if you can, stay for a little while and help us. Thank you. Okay, now today we're doing a multi-generational service, and that means that you don't go upstairs today, you stay in the service. And I'm going to go try to find the activity kits, and I'll come back with them and hand you one if you want to draw or color while you're in the service today. Someone moved. Okay, you all go back with your parents or whoever you're here with, and I'll come find you.
Our reading today is from Let Your Life Speak by Parker Palmer. Before you tell your life what you intend to do with it, listen for what it intends to do with you. Before you tell your life what truths and values you have decided to live up to, let your life tell you what truths you embody, what values you represent. It takes time and hard experience to sense that running beneath the surface of the experience I call my life, there is a deeper and truer life waiting to be acknowledged. That fact alone makes listen to your life difficult counsel to follow. The difficulty is compounded by the fact that from our first day in school, we are taught to listen to everything and everyone but ourselves, to take all our clues about living from the people and powers around us. The words we speak often contain counsel we are trying to give others. We have a strange conceit in our culture that simply because we have said something, we understand what it means, but often we do not, especially when we speak from a deeper place than intellect or ego. Speak the kind of words that arise when the inner teacher feels safe enough to tell its truth. At those moments, we need to listen to what our lives are saying and take notes on it, lest we forget our own truth or deny that we ever heard it.
I want to frame my sermon this morning with words from Henry Nouwen. He writes about what is most personal is most universal. We like to make a distinction between our private and our public lives and say, whatever I do in my private life is nobody else's business. But anyone trying to live a spiritual life will soon discover that the most personal is the most universal, the most hidden is the most public, and the most solitary is most communal. What we live in our most intimate places of our beings is not just for us, but for all people. That's why our inner lives are lives for others. That is why our solitude is a gift to our community. And that is why our most secret thoughts affect our common life. Jesus says, no one lights a lamp to put it under a tub. They put it on a lampstand where it shines for everyone in the house. Matthew 5:14 and 15. The most inner light is a light for the world. Let's not have double lives. Let us allow what we live in private to be known in public. Someone should have trademarked the term one size fits all. It's a great idea. It's a wonderful concept with so many possible applications. It's optimistic. It simplifies things. It's neat and clean. No fuss, no muss. One size fits all. It's the holy grail of marketing. But as all consumers know, it seldom lives up to the hype. Life is just not that neat and clean. I think you discover that by the time you're 10. We generally associate the concept with clothing, but such a great idea couldn't be contained to the world of apparel. The concept has crept into almost every sphere of existence. Take, for example, problem solving. We often presume there is a single best way to solve a problem. There's a formula, 5 steps. Define the problem, determine the causes, generate ideas, select the best idea, then implement or take action. That's what the mechanic does when he works in your car or when she works on your car. That's what a doctor does when treating a patient. But it doesn't stop there. The concept applies to the way we operate, the way we tend to behave. During the last decade, many corporations redesigned their workplaces based on an open space concept. It was an attempt to level the playing field, leaning in the direction of egalitarianism. They've since largely done away with private office space. People are placed at workstations with no walls between them. Executives and paper pushers all can see each other. And they've discovered, as it turns out, also able to hear each other on an absolute regular basis. That type of office space was designed on purpose, with intentionality. Other types of design just happen. They happen because it's obvious. It's obvious to the designers and probably to the generic public. Like male and female bathrooms. They're everywhere. It's generally expected there will be bathrooms labeled male, bathrooms labeled female, designed to satisfy the needs of all. One size fits all. Or so it's generally thought. It would be more accurate, however, I think, more honest to say, it's generally not thought about very much. Assumptions of times gone by are regularly without evaluation, reconsideration. I want to bear witness to that fact. I was at a conference not long ago, a couple of years ago perhaps, mostly with colleagues, ordained ministers. We went out to lunch. Walking back to the conference, one of my friends says, "Let's hurry. I want to get back to my room." I said, "Oh, why? You need to do some more work?" And he said, "No, I need to get to the bathroom. What an odd response, I thought. I said, why didn't you go to the bathroom when we were at the restaurant? We were just right there. The answer was, there were only male and female bathrooms. I have the same issue when I preach at some congregations, and I'm unwilling to be put in a position where I have to choose male or female, his or hers, a binary calculus. Now, I knew this person was non-gender conforming. I knew they had to deal with various people's reactions, questions, concerns, their prejudices. It never occurred to me that they had to plan ahead when and where to go to the bathroom. Never occurred to me. I fell silent. My heart sank. I felt anguish for what felt to me an incredible burden. My mind flashed to colored and white bathrooms, colored and white movie theaters. I felt embarrassed, disappointed in myself for being so oblivious, so unaware to the realities of a friend. Much of my life has been dedicated to anti-racism, anti-oppression and multiculturalism, to inclusion across so many different dimensions. And I had no idea. I simply never thought about it. I had never encountered that version of life, that experience of life, that reality. As an aside, I don't know if any of you recently been to an annual Unitarian Universalist General Assembly. For the past few years, many, but not all restrooms in the convention centers have been marked gender neutral. In the restrooms that had previously been marked men, the urinals have been fully covered over, generally with plastic of some sort. All who entered used the enclosed stalls, then washed their hands standing next to each other. And yes, it takes some getting used to. Men and women bathrooms. What's more normal? Yeah. They're everywhere. They're in stores, restaurants, at the ballpark, at the gym, and in our churches. Even in our congregations that call themselves welcoming. Even in places of worship with known and presumably accepted non-binary and transgendered members who appear on Sunday and at meetings during the week. Because one size fits all. It's an easy paradigm to fall into. And once inside that paradigm, we can become blind and oblivious. We can become blind, not out of meanness, not out of intent, but out of myopia, born of our experience and the generally accepted definitions of normal. Normal. Sometimes our myopia grows out of our sense of what's right, what's unequivocal, unquestioned. I knew somebody who's transitioning from female to male. They were taking hormones, legally had changed their name, the whole works. And it was public information. I knew the partner better than I knew the individual who was transitioning. One day, that partner used the term they, referring to the individual. After the second or third time that I heard the term, I couldn't ignore my chafing at the grammar. They is personal. They is personal. I non-verbally patted myself on the back because I didn't name that fact. But I did ask, why? Why they? Instead, I tapped into my understanding of psychology and my genuine concern for the individual's well-being. I'm a minister after all, and I kind of go in that direction. I expressed concern for the potential negative impact of heightening the person's sense of duality, internal disequilibrium. They is plural, I said. I was told it was intentionally chosen term. And at that point, I knew not to ask why. My diversity work had taught me people have the right to define themselves. People have the right to define themselves. They have the right to name themselves. They have a right to name their reality. And they have that right, even if it makes me uncomfortable, even when I just don't get it. Even when I'm being on my best behavior and I still screw up. What's important to name is not my frailties, not my ignorance or naivete or blindness, although I dare tell you, they do exist. What's important to note is that in each of those examples, I learned, made discoveries, became aware, was stretched, was educated, only by being in relationship. Being in dialogue with that difference. That's how I became aware of what I didn't know. Aware of my own, let's call it by its name, ignorance. It wasn't head in the sand ignorance, but it was a lack of understanding, a lack of knowledge, which by definition, dear people, is called ignorance. Just plain ignorance. I've come to live with the duality of having some amount of smarts and at the same time being ignorant. Tis humbling. This thing, being human, can be humbling. You see, we all live with a rule book. While the details and the entries may differ, we all live according to a rule book. For the most part, we've been taught what's in that rule book, then made such teachings our own. We've adopted them as truth. We've been taught what's normal. We've been taught particular interpretations of one size fits all. Other entries are created out of our own personal and individualized experiences. Our rule books, in greatest measure, reflect what's culturally normative, like fish in water. We often have no awareness of the water in which we swim. Landlubbers recognize water, but seldom notice air unless we recognize smoke or the existence of a skunk. Our collective, our cultural, race and class-based rule books support, maybe even generate, the notion of American exceptionalism. Individualized, personalized, superiority built into the very definition of ourselves. There is a degree of expectations that others should defer to our individualism, to our goodness. We often assume we can go anywhere in the world and not need to learn the language, the customs, the norms. Our status in the world, our upbringing, our education, our profession, income, our age, our race, our gender, often inform what's in our rule book, what we define as normal, what's right, what's good. And we inevitably assume others should defer to the contents of our rule book. And our myopia leads us to believe that others don't have a rule book or shouldn't. During my early years living with a vet, on the very rare occasions we got crosswise of one another, I came to name the page in my rule book that explained the rightness of my position. I pointed out, it was really wonderfully helpful. I could say page 72, 23, 111. It became a kind of a joke, but it was helpful. It allowed me to gain some distance from the issue. It allowed me to see what was driving me, and it forced me to decide whether or not to allow my rule book to be in charge at that particular moment around that particular issue. Eventually, Yvette acknowledged she had a rule book too. The salient question to be asked this morning is, how does belief in inherent worth and dignity get operationalized? How does it get manifested? How is it made real? Answer is, it's made real when we accept that others also have a rule book, when we honor other people's truths. Honoring another person's truth is foundational to being in genuine relationship. Please note it is important. I did not qualify the statement, another person's truth, with the phrase that I agree with and am comfortable with. Important detail. Honoring another person's truth is foundational to being in genuine relationship. Honoring another person's truth is foundational to being in genuine relationship. What I believe I know is beloved community. Beloved community does not have a rule book defining who fits and who does not, who's included, who's excluded. left at the door seeking entry. Beloved community. Beloved community does not have a rule book defining who fits and who does not. I believe beloved community, when made real, will be the only entity that we are familiar with that can truly demonstrate one size fits all. Amen. Ashe. And may it be so. We're thankful for being together, and we're thankful for a shared vision, for a shared covenant, our shared and hope for future. Let us now share in helping to fund the work of this church. An offering will be gratefully received. Thank you.
Whichever you want.
They say it is better to give than receive. I'm grateful for your giving, and I hope you feel even better for the giving and the support of the work of this church.
I'm Terry Smith, like that taller usher. I'm here as a substitute today for Jane Harrison. I'm here on behalf of the Caring Committee. As you know, we like to catalog and share the joys and concerns of the members of our UUC, our community. If you have something you'd like to share, you can tell a committee member, you can email the church office, or you can write it yourself in our caring logbook. It spends the week in the alcove next to the name tag board and generally is up here on the altar before and after church. Let's enter into a time of reverence together. Into this space of love and hope, I bring these special announcements. Carol Rowan is in the house. Welcome back, Carol. Just 1 week ago, I shared news of her recovering at home from a severe auto accident. It's great to see you, and you and your family and your sister especially have been very close in our hearts over these past days. So it's great to see you looking good, and we'll continue to lift up your sister and your families. We all, excuse me, we have love and sympathy to send today to the three sisters of our church, Christine Jordan, Alice Davis, and Lois Travers. They have a fourth sister, and I'm sorry her name was not provided. Does anyone know her name? Mary. Mary lives in Maryland, and it's a sad time because her husband, David, has passed away. So if you will, hold Mary and the three sisters in your hearts. Now, we will have a time where you can come forward to light a candle for something that's on your heart this morning. Reverend Walter will help me help you. So let's use both sides of the pulpit.
Stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the stillness, hold the stillness, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony.
Thank you for your sharing, your caring. May our prayers be heard and our hearts be lifted.
Join me in a time of prayer, meditation, and reflection. Dear one, that which creates and holds the interconnectedness of all, live in our spirits this day. May we feel embraced by your warmth, commitment, and well wishes for each of us. Help us to recognize our blessings in being together here and now in the space that is sacred to our well-being, where we feed and support one another and are blessed in the doing. May we know peace. May we know love. May we know that we as individuals matter. Help us to play our part in the unfolding of this universe. Amen.
We have two announcements today. We had a successful blood drive here yesterday hosted by the American Red Cross. 22 people came to donate and 5 had to be deferred. So we had 17 successful donations. Please mark your calendars for the next one on April 15th from 10 to 2. We hope you will come to give the gift of life. And in exciting news, our search for an office administrator has come to an end. Susan Cousins has accepted the position and has begun work. And we know that it has been a bumpier ride than usual without someone in that front office. We ask for your continued patience as Susan learns the ropes. Please stop by to welcome her and let her know how glad we are that she's here.
Is called The Ocean Refuses No River. And this is a Sufi saying, and I found many iterations of this, but this one I found this morning on YouTube by a man named Len Seligman. It was just an obscure recording. So if you want to go find it, it's there. It's originally reggae style. So you can imagine that part because this one isn't going to be reggae. Okay. The sun shines on everyone. It doesn't hesitate, doesn't care about gay or straight. The ocean refuses no river. Love does not criticize. Ever patient, always wise, knows when to shield its eyes. This ocean refuses no river. The ocean refuses no river. The rain falls on everyone. Doesn't help to hold a grudge. It's not up to us to judge. The ocean refuses no river. The sun does not keep score. You don't have to do things right. You don't have to earn its light. The ocean refuses no river. Love does not compare. Chooses hope, not despair. Rejoices in a child's prayer. The ocean refuses no river. The ocean refuses no river. The rain falls on everyone. Doesn't help to hold a grudge. It's not up to us to judge. The ocean refuses no river. Have you ever felt different, excluded or ignored? May we all learn to keep an open door. The sun shines on everyone. Doesn't care about this or that. Shines alike on dog and cat. Doesn't care just where you're at. I would like to be like that. The ocean refuses no river. The ocean refuses no river. The rain falls on everyone. Doesn't help to hold a grudge. It's not up to us to judge. The ocean refuses no river. And love excludes no one.
Know that you matter. Know that you're here to play a role in the unfolding of the universe. Go forth. Be yourselves in your fullness. Blessings.